Hello there, or welcome back if you saw my last video. I have to be honest, I recorded my last video last October and I didn't sit down to edit until the end of January. There were many reasons for why I couldn't make writing and editing a YouTube video a routine, but mainly it was just procrastination. But hey, I managed to overcome it, eventually. As you can see here, I just needed to give myself some time, to just be in the right headspace for it. I think it's always okay to give yourself some time, that you don't always have to be hustling, as long as you eventually pick yourself up again. I think I know now what makes the difference between professional creatives versus normal people. And that's the ability to ignore when you feel corny. Like, it's such a disgusting feeling when you think you're just embarrassing yourself. But real creatives, they can push through that feeling or completely ignore it. Maybe or don't have it, I don't know. But yeah, I think that makes the difference between getting to something you want to do versus not doing it. You have to be prepared to just feel like you're embarrassing yourself and accept it. And that's what I'm trying to do with my videos. It's hard. There is a thing here in Iceland that we Icelanders know very well, and that is if you translate it to English, short daylight depression, meaning at this time of year when you have only a few hours of daylight, you just become very, very low energy no matter what you do. And I'm feeling it heavily this year. It's so hard to even just do the things I want to do. So I'm just trying to accept that it's normal to be low energy right now. And it's not a personal failure that I'm having a hard time just sitting down and editing this video. But it's almost finished, and I think it will be a big personal achievement just to finish it and publish it. So see you next time. Not perfect, but good enough. Gotta start somewhere, right? I have 88 views, which is a lot more than I expected. 7 subscribers and a couple of really nice comments from people who watched the video. Very, very nice people. So thank you for watching. Okay, so when I made the last video, I wrote 2 short stories in Icelandic. So now the plan is to write them in a computer and then translate them to English and hopefully publish them in February. But all of these stories are a bit science fiction-y, and I wanted to pivot more into fantasy. But science fiction is hard because you have to actually think about realistic science within a degree, and you have to do a lot more research while you're writing that. But I hope to finish these, and that will be the project for February. Okay, so I've now finished transcribing what I wrote in the book into a computer, and I think I'm done with the writing in a book thing. It was fun to handwrite, but it was a really slow progress, and at this moment in my life I don't need to make everything so complicated for me. I just need to get things done the easiest way possible. That's the play, at least that's the situation in my life right now. So I'm gonna be, from here on out, just writing on a computer. And I'm gonna take the stories I have written and translate them to English. And once I'm done with that, I'm just gonna be writing in English. It's unnecessarily complicated for myself to be writing in Icelandic and then translating it to English. I just don't have the time and the mental energy to do that with a steady progress. So I'm gonna be focusing on writing in English because it's a much larger demographic than people who read Icelandic. It is much more likely for me to find global success with my writing by just focusing on English. And like one of my biggest inspiration, at least right now, is an old Icelandic author, Gunnar Gunnarsson. He grew up in the east of Iceland at the end of the 19th century, and if I remember correctly, he took part in a poem competition and won, and that inspired him to seek further education in literature. Further education in literature. And he moved to Copenhagen in Denmark, as most Icelanders did then if they wanted a higher education. And he settled there and started to become a writer, and just wrote in Danish because he realized Denmark was a much larger demographic for him than the Icelandic populace at that time. And he would probably not been able to live as a writer in Iceland, but in Denmark he could. So he wrote most of his most famous stories in Danish, and he didn't write them in Icelandic, and he didn't even translate them to Icelandic himself. There were other authors who translated his work later, but he found great success in Denmark because he brought a unique life experience and worldview from Iceland to the people of Denmark. He had interesting stories about people living in Iceland, and it fascinated people, so he sold really well. And I haven't read Svartfugl, but I have read Alvenda, and it's an old story, but it is a beautiful one. And he inspires me because he thought like I'm thinking now, that I will probably not find success writing in my own local language, but by focusing rather on a language which has a wider reach. Also, I'm not really interested in writing crime stories, which are a really big thing in Iceland and the other Nordic countries. I'm much more fascinated with science fiction and fantasy. I want to write in those, and it's just not really something that Icelandic authors do or find success with. But now my plan is just to at least try to get one story translated into English and posting it this month, hopefully. I finished translating my first short story and then went over it again, fixed minor issues, and I think it's ready now. So I thought, where would I put it? And I checked out a few websites, like I'm thinking of putting it on Wattpad, Scribblehub, and Royal Road. But when I visited those websites, I realized I had a problem. I didn't have a front cover for my short story. I hadn't thought about it. So I was kind of panicked, like what should I do? Do I really have to maybe pay someone to do something? I don't know. But after some Googling, I found you can use canva.com to quite easily make a cover. And so I managed to, in a few hours, put together a simple cover picture that I had in mind that I thought would be interesting, and giving a bit of hint of what the story is about. It's a weird story, just had kind of fun with it. You'll see if you read it. I've been thinking a lot about procrastination and how to beat it, because there's nothing as annoying as you wanting to do something and just physically can't get yourself to do it. Call it laziness, low energy, procrastination, it doesn't matter really. The point is, we want to do something and we can't get ourselves to do it. So we want to beat it. We want to conquer that feeling of procrastination, to go beyond it and do what we want to do. However, I think now that you can't beat procrastination. I mean, let's be real here. It's winter. Like, it should be a natural instinct for us at this time of year to just hunker down, take it easy, relax, save energy. I mean, it's winter. You should be saving energy now. It's just natural. I mean, I know we humans have industrialized and gone way beyond what nature intended, but we still have those natural instincts in us. I mean, there's a reason why we are always so low energy and have a hard time being active during winter. It's just normal. It's instincts. So when you have those feelings of procrastination, laziness, low energy, just stop beating yourself up over it. It's just accept that it's natural and just lean into it. Take it easy. Be relaxed. And yeah, if you want to do what you want to do, if you want to write, then write a little and then rest. Or give yourself some rest days and then sit down and write when you have energy, when, for instance, the sun is out and you are in a better mood and you have more energy. I believe when spring comes and summer is blooming, you will have all the energy you need to do the things you want to do. That is, if you allow yourself to rest. Because if you're always running yourself absolutely full throttle all day, every day, throughout the year, you will burn yourself out in some way or another. I mean, do we really have to rush? I mean, I'm now 32 years old. I'm just starting to write now. Some people are starting way younger, some people are starting way older. Doesn't matter, really. I mean, George R.R. Martin didn't become really famous with this Game of Thrones series until he was a very old man. Tolkien didn't release his writings on Lord of the Rings until after a couple of decades of writing, I think. I know we all want to find success as soon as possible and hustle ourselves into a better life as soon as possible. But I think it's way better for most of us to allow ourselves to take it easy, to take it slow and find steady progress and enjoyable progress instead of hustling ourselves and burning ourselves out for the pursuit of success as soon as possible. At least that is what I have come to realize for myself, at least. And who knows, maybe those words connect with you as well. And maybe it doesn't. Maybe you are an absolutely fantastic hustler and you just have to hustle your heart out every day. And that's what you like to do. No worries. Do what you want. But for me, I'm gonna be taking it slow and easy. I'm gonna enjoy that the sun is more out, that the days are getting longer, and when I have more energy, I'm gonna put it into writing when I want to do it, because beyond everything, this is supposed to be fun. Okay, so I've written the first short story in English and then reviewed it again, and then I did some more edits, and now the story is, I think, finished. It's not perfect, but good enough for a start. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and publish them. Okay, so I've published my first short story. It's on Wattpad, Scribblehub, and pending approval on Royal Road. It's called Catch and Release. The story is about a woman who has an undiagnosed chronic condition and is just exhausted with life. And when she gets a recommendation from her friend to visit a coffee shop, she goes there to get some relief and relax. But she unexpectedly gets quite an otherworldly experience. It's a bit of a weird story, but I thought it was an interesting thought experiment about perspectives. you will get what I mean if you read the story. I will put links down in the description to each of them. Also, I'm on Blue Sky if anyone wants to follow me there. I will post there when I put up a new short story. I don't have a fixed schedule for when I put them out. I'll try to have at least one per month. We'll just see how it goes. But yeah, anyway, this video is basically about how do you beat procrastination. And my solution was, instead of trying to beat it, you work around it. You accept procrastination as a normal thing, especially during winter, and then you allow yourself to be low energy and then find moments of high energy in between where you then do the work. That is the only way to make a steady long-term progress happen, instead of just trying to go at it 100% all of the time. Then you're just gonna burn yourself out. So yeah, thank you for watching my video. And I would love to get your opinions on my short story, and go ahead and share them in the comments below. I want to get constructive feedback and get better at writing stories. And also to my 10 subscribers since the last video. Thank you so much for subscribing to me. And yeah, stay tuned. I will be putting up more videos every now and again. Oh, I can't wait for spring, honestly. Ugh.